Kashin Koji Shinjutsu, Prescience, just changed the direction of Boruto TBV VORTEX forever. And yeah, I said it right this time. I know, you guys let me have it last video. There was no way I was gonna mispronounce it again. I get it. But anyway, I was having a conversation about the new chapter in the future of TBV VORTEX, and the conversation turned towards Momoshiki's fate. A question was raised from this point. During the entire conversation between Boruto and Kashin Koji, he not once mentioned Momoshiki in the timelines that he foresaw. As someone that is supposed to be a significant character and be a major roadblock in Boruto's life, there's just no way that he doesn't play a role, big or small, on the outcome of the shinobi world. Or perhaps Kashin Koji purposely held back vital information on the future due to Momoshiki's presence through Boruto. Before we get into this groundbreaking video, I want to kindly ask all you guys and girls to drop a quick like on the video. Y'all been really generous with the likes, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So let's keep it going, why not? For this video, let's try to get around 400 likes. That'll be the goal for this one. Because what I have in store for you guys next video, oh man, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that. I guess you'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, let's just hop into the video. Most recently in the story, the Shinjutsu called Prescience was introduced. The ability basically allows the user to see the future in all the timelines relating to any specific event in history. Koji used this ability to gain an advantage to increase the odds on the planet's survival. So far, fate has been relatively generous. He stated that the world could have ended multiple times already, but they barely got by. This luck won't continue as we get further into the story though. So this Shinjutsu will help Boruto and the others significantly in helping to keep the future safe. When Koji exposed the future to Boruto, he mentioned some very important details, but he also left out a lot as well. For example, he mentioned that there was a way to save Sasuke, implying that there was a future that Sasuke was probably saved from his tree-like state. But then again, he didn't say anything about Naruto or Hinata getting freed from the Daikakuta dimension. He also didn't mention the possibility of Boruto reversing omnipotence and getting his life back. You could probably say from his conversation with Shikamaru about omnipotence that he at least brought up the topic to Koji, but from his responses to Shikamaru, Koji probably didn't see a future where Boruto's life went back to how it was pre-omnipotence. But for now, that's only speculation. We don't actually know if they had that conversation or not. Boruto could just be assuming there isn't a way to get his life back for all we know. But you guys get the point. Koji left out a lot of details regarding the future. It more has to do with the outcome of certain timelines. He didn't mention the small details that led up to that outcome. Like for example, in the future that he saw where Naruto was killed by Ishiki, why didn't it go like it was supposed to? Why wasn't Ishiki defeated in every timeline? What was the difference this time around? There had to be a difference in events, either big or small. Maybe in this timeline, Naruto ate a bowl too much of ramen and had a stomach ache, or maybe bro didn't have any breakfast and simply didn't have the energy to fight at 100%. Of course, this is most likely not the case, but that's what I mean by big or small differences that could lead to a different outcome overall. And this is what Koji had forgot to mention. I believe there's no way that in any of these timelines, Momoshiki doesn't make a lasting impact on the outcome of the story. But then again, it does make sense that Koji leave out certain details when talking to Boruto about the future. Certain details that involve Momoshiki. At the beginning of their conversation, Koji made sure to verify that Boruto is actually Boruto. He had to confirm his memories were at fault. Him doing this not only helped Boruto and Koji gain a level of trust within each other, but it also confirms that Momoshiki's soul is inside of Boruto and not Kawaki. And that also means he's listening to everything they're saying to each other through Boruto. So if this is the case, then of course Koji would hold back on what he says to Boruto for precautionary purposes. It's already been confirmed that Momoshiki can key onto certain conversations through Boruto from chapter 75. Their thoughts also cross over from each other. So whatever Boruto thinks, Momoshiki knows what it is. This right here is why I mentioned earlier that even something you would think is insignificant like Naruto eating too much or less can affect the outcome of certain events. I know that example is kind of over exaggerated, but this is exactly what I mean. The fact that Momoshiki could hear everything they're saying to each other could affect the future in more ways than one. This is why I just can't believe Momoshiki would hear this and not try to imprint his own will into the outcome of the story. Or maybe he heard something about the future and he'll try to use this information to gain an advantage in achieving his own goal. One thing that caught my mind while thinking about this situation is when Koji told Boruto that Jura will be the one to kill him. Whether this foresight is regarding this situation or another later down the line, I don't think Momoshiki would just sit tight and allow this to happen, especially since it heavily goes against his own goal of taking over Boruto's body to use as his vessel. And always remember this, Boruto is Momoshiki's only anchor to the world of the living. So by saying Boruto dies, you're also basically saying that Momoshiki will cease to exist as well. So by this logic, it's safe to say Kishimoto just spoiled the next big fight to us, just from this chapter alone. Momoshiki, or if you want to get technical, then Borushiki versus Jura. And I know it's not a lot of you who think this, but I do have a number of supporters who think Momoshiki isn't in the story anymore, for whatever reason, I don't know. Or I heard Boruto found a way to deal with him somehow. This is what some of you guys think, but this simply isn't true. From what Koji told Boruto in chapter 9 that he should retreat before he loses control, just him saying this right here implies that Momoshiki's soul is still present in Boruto's body. So yes, Momoshiki is still a problem that must be dealt with, because if not, he'll do more bad than good. The craziest thing in all of this is the possibility that because of this conversation, this could end up being the reason why Boruto dies. Let's look at it from a deeper standpoint. I always like to look at Dragon Ball Z when it comes to talking about different timelines, because this is the anime that originally taught me how the concept works. As much as Koji can see different timelines and different outcomes for certain events, it also gives him the ability to create timelines. If you have the ability to see the future, and in this future, you're late to work because you forgot your key card at home or something, so now you have to go back home and get it. But if you already have this knowledge prior to that happening, you will try your very best to not forget it so you won't be late. Just because you have this knowledge now, you're effectively creating a new future, a new timeline for yourself. It's a very simple concept once you fully grasp it. Koji simply having knowledge on the future creates new timelines. So perhaps there is a timeline where this exact conversation happens between Boruto and Koji, which leads Momoshiki to want to fight Jura to save Boruto from dying by his hand. However, that action of Momoshiki taking control over Boruto's body can actually put him in more danger. Maybe Jura defeats the Boruto that is overtaken by Momoshiki, and that right there could lead to Boruto dying. Something like that could be a possibility, because after all, Koji is only mentioning the outcome of certain events. He's not telling us the details that led up to that outcome. Anything could have happened in between that time, but the outcome is still the same. Boruto is killed by Jura. But we can't just ignore the elephant in the room. Obviously, Boruto overcame this future, because otherwise, he probably wouldn't be seen here fighting with Kawaki later at the end of the story. So there was something that happened that changed the timeline again to cause Jura not to kill Boruto. Now there's two options I have in mind. No, scratch that. Three options I have in mind. The first and most obvious option is that Koji telling Boruto his future actually saved his life, because of Momoshiki hearing and helping Boruto. The second option would be Kawaki getting stronger so he doesn't keep being a liability in damn near every timeline. And if he's simply stronger, he'll be more assistance to Boruto in helping him defeat Jura. Or the third, and my personal favorite option, Boruto unlocks the Jogan, the pure eye, and overcome any fate that's not favorable to him. Video coming on that really soon. I'ma just leave you guys confused on that little nugget for now. But all I'm gonna say for now is, you don't want to miss that video. It's gonna be a good one. But honestly, let me know if you think this conversation right here changes the future in some way. Does Momoshiki knowing that Jura eventually kills Boruto increase his chances of survival? Or does him knowing this actually end up being the thing that gets Boruto killed? And let me know which option you think best suits the story for Boruto to stay alive. Does Momoshiki save him? Does Kawaki gaining a significant amount of power save him? Or does Boruto awakening the Jogan be the thing that saves him from his inevitable death? Something does indeed save him, but the question is, what saves him? But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did and want to see more videos like this in the near future, then drop a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload or go live to recap the chapter spoilers. And without further ado, I'll see y'all boys and girls in my next video. And I'm out. Peace.